Today's interview is with Thomas Graziani, the CEO and co-founder of WalktheChat, a cross-border e-commerce platform that helps foreign businesses sell to China via WeChat. WalktheChat is also the best resource for WeChat marketing, as it provides free educational content. We asked Thomas, "What's your favorite book and why?" He replied, "My favorite book is In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust. It's a 7-volume epic work describing the intricacies of human nature. Proust's style is among the most beautiful I've ever read, and he manages to really make you consider every aspect of your daily life in a different and deeper way." In the business section, I would pick Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. The book is not directly related to business, but its insights have wide applications to the business world. We asked Thomas, "Was there a moment specifically when something you read in a book helped you? Can you tell us about it?" He replied, "Reading Camus helped me realize that I wasn't completely crazy, which was helpful. Albert Camus is one of the theoreticians of the existentialist philosophy, which suggests that life is absurd, but that mankind can define its own meaning. At a younger age, the absurd nature of life was bothering me, and I felt isolated in this feeling. Realizing that most people are experiencing similar feelings was incredibly liberating. In work and love, I find reading brings similar benefits. Very often, the most important part about reading something is not to find a solution or a trick. It is to simply realize that other individuals are going through the same experience, which makes it easier to bear." We asked Thomas, "What books had the biggest impact on you? Perhaps changed the way you see things or dramatically changed your career path?" He told us, "Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse is most likely the one with the biggest impact for me. It is the story of a young priest who goes into the world in order to find wisdom. He becomes a beggar, a merchant, a father, a student of the Buddha. Several times, he leaves his current situation in order to keep growing and to get closer to the truth. Such philosophy was helpful when I had to leave my stable corporate job in order to start a company. It will most likely keep proving useful, as it led me to see life as a series of phases instead of a linear path." We also asked Thomas, "What books would you recommend to youngsters interested in your professional path and why?" He replied, "All of the above. I truly believe there is a time for each book, and it's important to read the right books at the right time in your life. Older non-business books like Hermann Hesse, Proust, Nietzsche, Camus, Sartre, Thomas Mann, Susan Sontag, Roland Barthes tend, in my opinion, to contain deeper knowledge which can help one really find a direction in life. Second best would be non-vertical books, which can support in the development of either communication skills like nonviolent communication or radical candor, or methodologies like the lean startup or lean customer development. For vertical industry-specific knowledge, books tend not to be very helpful as they get outdated too quickly. I would recommend blogs or podcasts." We asked Thomas, "We're interested in finding out more about your reading habits. How often do you read and in what format?" He told us, "I usually read in phases. I might read a lot for a few days when I get interested in a book and then stop for several weeks if work and life get too hectic. I, however, consume several hours of podcasts and audiobooks every day." We asked Thomas, "How do you make time for reading?" And he told us, "I go to coffee shops and dedicate some time for it during daytime." We asked Thomas, "Do you take notes or have any other technique for conquering the torrent of information?" He told us, "Sometimes I would write quotes on a notebook, but that's about it. I have a to-do list I rewrite every day in case there is some concrete action I must take related to something I read." We asked Thomas, "How do you choose what books to read next?" And he told us, "Mostly friends' recommendations or books I heard about within podcasts." We asked, "Do you prioritize those recommended by certain people? Is there anyone that you consider a book recommendations guru?" He told us, "Yes, one of my best friends from Brazil would be a book recommendations guru." Last question, what book are you currently reading and what are you expecting to gain from it? He told us, "I am currently reading 2 business books, Radical Candor by Kim Scott which I expect can help me build better relationships with my colleagues, and Lean Customer Development by Cindy Alvarez, which helps me have a more open conversation with my clients and better define our product roadmap. This was our interview with Thomas Graziani. If you want to find out more about him and his projects, follow his website at www.walkthechat.com. You can find all the books mentioned in this interview in the video description. The CEOlibrary.com is a daily updated library of book recommendations and interviews from the business people we look up to. Thank you!